There's a lot of discussion right now about Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's Just Transition Plan, that's what the Liberals are calling it, to basically wind down the Alberta oil sands and replace those jobs and economic activity with elements of the green economy. Now, a number of years ago in 2017, Justin Trudeau made headlines, caused a lot of debate by speaking at a public event off the cuff about how he wanted to phase out the oil sands. Now, a lot of people took those words to be a sort of gaffe, and what does he mean here, and how should we interpret all of this? Alberta Premier Rachel Notley, who should be the biggest champion, or back then should have been the biggest champion of those jobs, she told people, don't get too excited. Those were her words. The PMO actually put out a statement, kind of trying to walk it back a little bit, or at least water down that language. But what we have learned in the years since, that Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is just being honest. He's just saying, this is what I want to do. I want to phase out the oil sands. And we have seen there's been a whole lot of government decision unfolding in those years to show how he plans to phase out the oil sands. It's really frustrating, though, because as I've remarked a number of times, I don't think we have a prime minister who has an interest in climate issues. I think we have a climate change activist who just happens to be prime minister, because Trudeau is almost like singularly focused at times when it comes to all of these climate change issues. It's the first, or one of the first things he mentions in all situations, in all speeches. Whatever he's going on about, he always brings it back to greener, to climate, to transitioning. He's just obsessed with that issue. And that's fine. You know, there's a role for those people in that sector, in that line of work. One wonders, why didn't Justin Trudeau actually go and try and be an entrepreneur in the green economy or what have you? Why did he have to go and be prime minister and bring these things about? Because here's the thing, forcing this sort of change is just not the way things work. You may remember there's this thing called the fax machine a number of years ago, and people stopped using the fax machine and they instead went to things like email. And how that happened was not the government said, or the prime minister at the time. You know, the phase out happened, I don't know, in the Jean Chrétien years, early part of the Stephen Harper years, we all moved to PDFs and stuff. The prime minister didn't get up on at a podium in front of the country and do a national address and say, no more fax machines, this other thing is better, we're moving to this other thing, and here's the rollout, and you must do this percentage of emails by this date. It didn't happen. What happened, of course, was that people said, oh, I like this email thing, it's better, and gradually people started adopting to the new email format, and then on their own time they stopped using the fax machine. And there's some sort of transition going on with green products, and more electric vehicles are being bought, and things are going to change in the years ahead, and that's just natural, and we should all support innovation. But it's not a government thing. And I feel like Justin Trudeau and Stephen Guilbeault, they're so passionate about it, and they're also so bullying about it. They want to boss people around, and they're bringing mandates, and they're trying to force people to do it. And it's like, guys, it just doesn't work this way. And to whatever degree there will be a green transition, and of course there is one to some degree, it's going to happen not because of all this bullying that Trudeau has done. It's going to happen in spite of all of it. So all of this effort that the government's doing, it's just like, guys, this is not how these things actually work.